Hi, we're the K3, and this is our Astro Corner out in nature. It's like the hippie version, and it's Gemini this week. And you may notice we have some LA Dodger hats, but they're special ones. What's going on with these, Karen?
We're giving these away.
Yes,
and how can you be eligible to win one? Well, first of all, subscribe to our channel. 2, leave us a comment on one of our August videos and like one of our videos. We will enter you into a drawing to win one of these 2 hats. Plus, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll have a big drawing, including one of these hats and some K3 swag. So thank you for your support.
Thank you. So now let's jump into the Geminis of KDrama. Yeah. As you all know, we can only pick so many because God knows there's a whole bunch of Geminis. But we had to narrow it down to 3. So here we went with our top, not our top 3, but 3 that we thought were kind of fun and have shows going on right now. First one to look at, we're going to look at Gong Myung. He is probably my favorite puppy currently right now. He is a May, he's one of our May Geminis. Okay. And he is a May 26, 1994. So he is the youngest on our list. He's an interesting cat. Like, I dig him. Now, this is our resident, Karen and Marco are our resident Geminis. And so we're going to get a little insight as to what being a Gemini is.
And you've got a May Gemini and a June
Exactly. So he's got this Gemini sun. He's then got a Sag moon. So his moon and his sun are in opposition, which is really nice. There's a nice balance there. Okay. Actually, it's throughout life, he's going to be working on getting that balance, which I actually think I think that's kind of a puppy move, in all honesty. Trying to find that balance of being loved and finding your own path, especially when you got the Gemini and Sag. Probably should back up. Geminis, this is the basic thing on Geminis. Geminis are an air sign, right? Yes. They're mutable. They're mutable and they're air. So Geminis are just, they're all over the place. Like, I mean, God bless, I love you both. But sometimes it's just, you can't focus on one thing. And it's just, everything is just everything. Like, there's just, it's like, most people just
look at that. Ooh, it's also wonderful.
It's the physical embodiment of squirrel.
Yes. Oh my God.
That is what Gemini is.
Yes.
And so that's what all of these 3 that we're going to look at have in common. So that's right out of the gate. So Gong Myung has that puppiness of squirrel.
And that comes across in his characters, I think.
Yeah, a lot.
He's a little bit like,
Right. He does. He's got that very need to know. What's happening there?
And Granddad, how about this?
Yeah, but then he's got this Sag moon over here, which I think it plays nicely because, again, it gives balance to all of that, for lack of a better word, chaos. Sag gives him that balance of, wow, even though I want to know what everything is, emotionally, I don't need you to give me all of that. I can figure it out on my own and go my own path. So for him, emotionally, he has that stability, which is really nice. Because he also has this Mercury that's also in Gemini. They're not conjunct, but it's in the same energy. So he's got a Gemini sun and he's got a Gemini Mercury. So again, another one. Chatty. Like when he meets you, he's gonna want to talk to you and you're gonna want to talk and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be super into it. And then he's gonna be like, all right, I'm good. And then he's gonna go off on his own and you're gonna be like, what just happened? It's just going to be like,
a conversation.
We were having a conversation. I thought it was going well. And then one squirrel is going to call him off that way. And then suddenly, emotionally, that's going to be what he needs. And so it's really interesting. Because then
he's very familiar.
Right. See? Well, what is yours? We got yours right here. You are all air and earth. Your personal planets are all air and earth. So you and, what was the boy that we talked about last week? Kim Kwan.
Yeah.
All
the one where I thought we'd probably be talking till 4 in the morning.
Till 4 in the morning. Karen is all grounded. Yes. Wait, what's over there? Grounded. What?
Grounded, huh?
What?
And what?
Right. And so
I keep interrupting my own groundedness.
Which is hilarious. And so that is not the Gong Myung version. Like he's got air, he's got fire, he's actually got water.
He's got a lot of he's got a little
bit of everything, and then he's got a little bit of earth in there. So the only thing he doesn't, he has a little bit of all of it. So he's got air, he's got fire, he's got water, he's got earth. So he's very well rounded, which I think allows him to not be quite that manic personality. Like he still has it, but he then can call on that Taurus that Taurus Mars of his, which grounds him when he's taking action. So it's not going to be as frenetic. And then his Venus is in Cancer, so I think that's where we get a lot of the really sensitive, like the sensitive heart of his that you see, I think, in almost every character he has.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether he is, whether he's the young rookie cop in Extreme Job, or if he's the arrogant god in the water god that we saw him in. You saw that like really soft heart that he has for the things he cares about. If he cares about you, like that heart is going to take care of you. And so he really is very fascinating, and I see a lot of that. There's a lot there that calls to me, and so I think that's why he's one of my favorite. The reason I'm saying that is because the next one we're going to talk about, I just want to mention one more thing about Gong Myung. I don't know why he doesn't call to me. So many things in Pak Bo Gum's chart, I should love him, and I don't, and I need to figure it out. But I just want to mention one more thing about Gong Myung before we move on to that, and that is that he has a North Node Pluto conjunction.
What does that mean?
So that means why he's here on the planet, his purpose in life, and his Pluto, which is one of the most, it's destructive in a way that it clears away everything that is not working for you and is not good for you.
Clears out the crap.
It clears out the crap. It's not easy, and it's painful.
Probably not pretty.
But this is a boy who decided, we're gonna get done this lifetime.
Wow.
And it's in Scorpio. So he is like gonna destroy,
He's gonna burn it down.
He's gonna burn it down so that he can make it exactly what he needs it to be if he learns the lessons. And so I'm really interested to see how his career progresses with this, to see what kind of moves he makes.
I don't know that we've seen
We have
that
not,
quality in a
no.
character yet. It'll
So
be interesting for
I'm
Suits Me to
really excited to see what
character,
that flavor is going to give us for sure.
Yeah.
All right, but
Ooh,
on to
interesting.
right.
Thank
I'm
you.
really into that
Yeah.
aspect a lot, and I can't wait to see that one kind of flare up a few times. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So now I just need to talk about Pak Bo Gum.
Let's talk about Pak Bo Gum, because I always thought as a Gemini I would always like all of my fellow Geminis because we all get it. But I get that he's super popular.
Super popular.
And well, he's gotten really great reviews for a lot of the roles he's done.
Right?
But he just doesn't make my favorites list. Why does he not?
I don't know.
Why does he not make my favorites list?
I'm trying to figure that out. So he is on the 16th of June. He's a 93. But he's got the same kind of makeup as Gong Myung. He's got a Gemini sun. He's got a Taurus moon, which is a little bit different. Got a Cancer Mercury, a Taurus Venus.
Another Taurus.
So he's got double Taurus. But I think that would call to you because you've got a double Taurus.
And
then you got all that
we're
air.
too similar?
It might be that. It might be that. The reason he doesn't call to you is because he's
because I'm looking
he's
in the
your
mirror,
mirror.
and I don't want to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Come on, I got stuff to do.
Right? But then he's got this Leo Mars, which is really interesting. And I think maybe that usually calls to me. Leo and Leo people, it calls to me. There's something about that. But
Right.
it doesn't. I don't know what it is.
And Mars, remind me again. You just said, but what does that represent?
Mars is how you take action.
How you take action.
So I think that's all of his. Hey.
Yeah.
That I just, and I don't know if it's because of everything else
maybe
that's in
because
there.
It's got the flavors of the Gemini,
right?
on it, which may not call to you as much.
I think that's what it is. I think
they make it like, stop trying so hard.
I think that's what it is. I think it's the Gemini
It's
flavor
like flirtation on top of flirtation.
Yes, it's
because Gemini, I think, can be known
super
as being
flirty.
very
Absolutely,
flirty. Yeah,
because they have to share everything with you. There is not. Geminis can't just have one conversation. They have to have 80. And so he's
There's
gonna
a lot to talk about.
He's gonna overshare, and then he's gonna be like, "Aren't I amazing?" And you're gonna be like, "I lost the thread an hour and a half ago."
Sure.
And
I
so,
haven't gotten into word edge one.
right? So I think maybe because that's what it is. Like there's just too much data there for me. Like I can't. I'm a Virgo, man. I need to be able to focus on the one particular item.
Give me something I can.
Give me something to latch onto. You give me that something to latch onto, and I'm yours forever. But if you're too frenetic, I'm like, I'm going to be over here. When you pick a thought, come see me. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is about
I wonder what else
that
does he have going on?
throws me off.
So why is he so super popular?
Well, I think that Leo calls to a lot of
Leo.
people. I think that Leo is, the Leo is definitely, So you've got that Leo energy. You've got that, and you've got that. We know he's best, well, prior to the divorce, but they were really close. Him and Sung Joong Ki were really close. Well, Sung Joong Ki's got that Leo Venus, and then you've got the Mars over here. So they had that instant rapport of like, here's Park Bo Gum coming at Sung Joong Ki, and Sung Joong Ki's like, this is amazing. Like, let's relate. Like that. It's like
we're friends.
It's just friends, and so it's like that super great like spotlight of the two of them giving each other that energy, which is great.
Yeah.
And so I see that and I recognize that, and so I think that that's a lot of what. I think that's what makes him so popular. Again, we don't have a birth time. So that rising sign could also put him as a Leo rising or one of the more magnanimous, like, things, or it could put his sun in the 5th house, which is ruled by Leo. So there's a lot of places with that rising sign will give us that would make him be on the public stage, that would make him so popular that we just don't have that information.
All right.
I'm just looking strictly at what his planet makeup is.
Yeah.
And again, like he's got there's nothing here there's a lot of fear that calls to me. But there's something about that Gemini energy that I don't know what it is. And maybe it is, it's that Taurus and Leo. He's very fixed. He's not, there's not going to be a lot of, even though he's got that Gemini, like easygoing kind of like,
He's stubborn about it.
He's super stubborn about it. Like his moon and his Venus and his Mars are all fixed signs. So he may come at you like super casual. It's going to be great. But then as soon as you like get into relationship with him, it's going to be like, oh no, this is how it goes. And so I think maybe my fixed signs run up against his fixed signs, and I'm just like, that's going to be a power play. I'm not really.
That's why I didn't completely latch onto his character at Encounter. That sounds a lot like his character at Encounter.
Yeah. Like super casual.
Super casual. Like, I'm just what you need. I'm the breath of fresh air, but you should be doing this.
Yes.
And like, what?
Exactly.
Very jarring.
And that maybe is what it is. Like he can pivot on that really well, which I think if it's something that calls to you as someone who needs a little more structure in their life, if you don't have a lot of structure, so if you have a lot of mutable or cardinal planets and not a lot of the fixed planets, you might be drawn to that because you need more of that structure. Yeah. Those of us that have a lot of that fixed stuff already in our charts, we're like, no.
Does not play well together.
It doesn't at all. Unless it is a like a conjunction kind of a thing. But Taurus to Leo is a square. And we're getting into like much more astrology here, but I think that's what's happening. So the square, all of his Taurus bumps into my Leo. And so that bumps into it, and that activates what's called a T-square in my chart, which has been, it's basically what causes a lot of the angst in my life. That's a whole different session that we can't even get into. But every time I see him, something about that energy signature pings in my energy signature where I recognize that's not good for me. And I kind of exit stage left. So it's really interesting. Yeah, it is. So even though we have that Leo-Leo matchup, which is nice, it's pinging, all that Taurus is pinging a lot of stuff that's happening.
Pushing a button that is not.
Yeah, it is not.
Doesn't feel good.
No.
Interesting.
But yeah, I recognize why he's popular. Yeah. It's just for some reason.
And I can recognize his talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's obvious. But
absolutely.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not necessarily going to go jump on the next show that he's in.
Right. It's really interesting. And then he's got a North Node in Sag. So this is a guy who, so his South Node is in Gemini. So that's where all his Gemini is. So what he's most comfortable in is that Gemini energy, even though it's only in his sun. So I find that really fascinating. But what he's working towards in this lifetime is to take that need for information and walk the path with it, not needing people to give him recognition for it. So I find that really interesting that that's what his path is. So he's one to watch for sure.
Oh my gosh.
And I will definitely always keep an eye on him because I'm oddly fascinated, but he's not one of my favorites. So I find it really interesting what those pieces are, right?
Interesting. Yes.
And then one that I think is one of our favorites.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
There's no doubt on this
And
one.
we've talked about her before, but if you're going to talk Gemini, you got to talk about Yoona. Are you kidding?
Yes.
Like she's a delight.
She's delightful. And she doesn't necessarily, clearly, I'm not an astrologer like you are, but she doesn't strike me necessarily as a Gemini.
Well, let's see why that is.
See if there's something to that.
Well, see, interesting. She is actually a double Gemini, for sure. Yeah. But I think
I feel like she's got some groundedness, some super groundedness somewhere.
Interesting is actually loaded in air.
Oh, all right.
But this is what it is. Her south node is in Capricorn. So everything that she knows that she brought with her from other lives is in Capricorn, which is one of the most grounded planets you could possibly get. So she is like, I will take care of it. I will get shit done. And if you irritate me, I will be very unhappy about it. And I think we see that in a lot of her characters.
Yes.
She can pull on that like nobody's business, right? But she can
do the bubbly and sweet and cute.
Well, that's because she's got a Gemini Sun, a Gemini Mercury, and a Libra Mars. So everything that who she is, how she communicates, and the way she takes action is all going to be mental. So it's all going to be that kind of trying to dazzle you with words. And the Libra is going to want everyone to be happy and equal. And I think we see that also. So it's not a lot of that hard, fixed energy. It's not a lot of that aggressive energy. So she's got all this air. And so it's a lot of that. Bubbly is maybe not the right word. I think Gemini is much more of a bubbly. And I think she can pull from that because that Gemini is that flitting. Playful. Because you're always thinking of something new. So there's always something to talk about. There's always that. And so I think that that's what Yoona does really well. And then she's got that Libra Mars, which is going to want, even when she takes action, it's going to make sure that everybody is well taken care of and things are balanced. And, she can dip into it like having to strangle it because, that's kind of the darker side of Libra where they cannot make a decision to save their lives. And I think we've seen that play out a few times in a few of her characters. Yes. And I think that's what we're drawn to is that kind of moment when she's like, with her.
I feel like she had a lot of that in Touch Your Heart.
Yes.
Where she was like, I don't know what to
But how endearing was that with her? Because that's who she is. That's her makeup. And then she's got she's got now here's what's interesting. She's either a Scorpio moon or a Sag moon.
Sounds like there'd be a big difference there.
It is. Yes and no. Because Scorpio pretty much is like an emotional, could give a fuck, where Sag is a more of a taking action, I could give a fuck. So it's Scorpio really just wants to get into it and understand the depths to which the situation calls for. Sag is like, I get all that, but I'm gonna do my own thing. And if you want to follow, great. If not, I'm good. So I think there's an argument for either one with her. I'm kind of leaning towards Sag.
Okay, all right.
What do you think?
I was thinking Scorpio, but I'm going to defer to your
No. I'm curious. Why do you think Scorpio?
Only because, I was thinking back to her character from My Love from Another Star.
Okay.
Where she gets really, she's super competitive and...
Now that might be the Capricorn South node.
Oh, okay.
So that could definitely, and again, we don't have a birth time, so it could be anything. You can, it's kind of like make your own rules with no birth time.
That character seemed easy. It was easy for not easy, but that character would be mean if she had to.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Now, again, just because you have all this Gemini and Sag doesn't mean you're not mean. You can still be mean.
Anybody can be mean.
And anyone can be mean. And then she's got she's got a little bit of Taurus over here, so she does get that grounding. So yeah, she's got another. She's actually, if I had to guess which one of the three that calls the most to you, it would be her because she is her
for sure.
Yeah, her signs they all kind of match up with yours. Pretty much.
She's very enjoyable to watch. And
yeah,
it's like, oh, she's in this so great.
She's fantastic. I love her so much.
That's a no-brainer for me.
Oh yeah, and she's got the Cancer North node. We talked about the South node a little bit, but she's here. She's very comfortable with the Capricorn. But she's here to kind of learn to tap into that soft heart. And I think you see that.
I see that in every
right?
character.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think
especially Goblin.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. And Goblin actually is a good argument for a Scorpio moon.
More so than, okay.
Yeah, think about that one. I'm on the fence because I see her
as being, birth time.
Exactly. So yeah, so she's I like her a lot, which is why I pulled her.
I know oftentimes when we've looked at the astro for women in the past, you often focus on the Lilith.
Yes.
Moon, is that what it's called?
The Black Moon Lilith.
Black Moon Lilith, thank you.
And that is for a woman. It's kind of our innate femininity, our sexuality, our kind of that Lilith energy for all women and kind of how we express what that is. And everybody has it in their chart. But for women who identify, for people who identify as women, that is kind of what our femininity, how it goes out into the world, right?
So
and hers is in Sag. She's a 28 Sag. So that might be where I'm getting the Sag energy from. Because, so she is going to be that energy for her, when she's being her most feminine, it's going to be, or when she feels the most powerful in her femininity, it's going to be when she's not following anyone else's rules. Huh. And so I think we see that
definitely
a lot, for sure,
yep,
right?
Yep.
So I think that for sure matches up with her.
Even in Touch Your Heart, when she was just like, at the beginning, she was like this super clueless celebrity. And she was just like, well, I'm just going to go do this.
Yes. And just to kind of take that a step further, because we did pull up, because Karen is our resident Gemini here, yours is in Libra. And so for you, I would guess you feel the most powerful in your, when you're taking care of people, and people feel taken care of. Not just that you're doing it, but that they actually recognize that you have made sure that everyone feels good.
Yeah, it's important to me to know that they do.
Yeah.
It's like I can, in my mind, give something that I feel like would help them make them feel better, but I want the reflection back or the feedback.
Right. Well, and
yes,
again,
did it not,
because that's very much a Libra thing. You got to make sure it's balanced, because if it's just you got to make sure you get the balance, so you know that both parties are happy. Yeah. And so so that does play out for you as well. All right, you guys, so that is our Astro Corner, and this is Gemini. So again, there's a bajillion other Geminis we could have talked about, and if you want to talk about some more, just give me a quick note, and we'll maybe jump on the blog and talk about that. But until next time, we're the KThree. I'm Jen.
I'm Karen, and
Marisa will be back next time. She's out of town this week. And if you are interested in seeing what we are liking, loving, and dropping, check out our weekly watch list right here. And until next time.